The dragon scene of Railgun T was the most disappointing scene of the season. What was hyped up by the fandom as one of the biggest reasons to watch Railgun T ended up dropping the ball in some unexpected ways. The scene showcases some of the laziest animation of the entire season, some really amateur colouring choices, completely unfitting music, and just overall misguided direction. It's like the studio didn't know what the tone of the scene was meant to be and ended up with something that overstays its welcome, feels completely out of left field in an unsatisfying way, and just mars the whole climax. I honestly feel nothing watching the scene, which is less than I can say for some of the pivotal moments of Index 3. In the manga, this scene took up 3 pages, 5 if you count the double spread pages separately. In the anime, this lasted 56 seconds. These manga panels have been hyped up by the Tawari fans to the point of absurdity within the community, but the tone of the scene itself doesn't strike me as something the word hype applies to. It's a sudden and dramatic twist, as if all of Toma's rage is exploding out of his right arm in a violent and shocking display, taking everyone around completely off guard. Of course Sogita thinks it's cool because he's a chuny idiot, but we learn later in Index New Testament that Misaka was actually deeply affected by this incident. This isn't a reveal of some amazing new power Toma has gained, it's an abrupt and shocking display of carnage, an uncontrollable power that could have gone horribly wrong in any other situation. Many fans have even speculated that it may already have led to the death of a certain character off-screen way back in Index. It's like the director of this scene wanted it to match the image of hype that the community had attached to it, and had forgotten that this scene was meant to be more mysterious and horrifying than cool or hype. The energetic Index OST feels so out of place here, and all the dragons linger around on screen for much longer than necessary. The camera hangs on this one shot to show every dragon lazily appear one by one, after which they sluggishly eat at the massive energy. I particularly hate this one shot where there's no motion on screen at all for nearly 4 seconds. In the manga, it was only 3 pages. They appeared suddenly for a few seconds of carnage before disappearing just as quickly, and the manga intentionally obscured Toma's reactions here to add to the intrigue behind how he feels about this. It's a moment of mystery. Is Toma as horrified as Misaka? Is he enjoying himself? We don't know, and that's part of the scene's beauty. In Railgun T, it looks a lot more like he's unleashing a crazy new attack and holding it on a leash, which in my opinion seems to go kind of against what the manga was aiming for here. If I were directing this scene, I'd make the music cut out completely the moment the dragons burst out, letting the screeching roars and sounds of carnage speak for themselves. I'd hide Toma's expression, and make the scene a lot quicker and more brutal, leaning heavily into the shock factor and the mystery of it all, before panning back to Misaka. It's a shame because Railgun T nailed almost every other scene in the season. I know the poor animation quality is most definitely a direct result of the COVID pandemic's impact on the studio's production schedule, with numerous delays happening around this time, but that's not going to stop me from complaining about this apparent lack of awareness from the director in what this scene was set out to accomplish. I guess there's nothing wrong with deviating from the source material if you have your own vision for the scene, but to me, this scene lacks any coherent vision. It just feels like they tried to flesh out the moment as a service to all the fans excited for it, but in doing so kind of lost sight of what made this scene so impactful in the first place. And to be honest, it feels like much of the fandom has really lost sight of it as well. So I wanted to put this out there to share my perspective on what really worked in the manga here, and how this scene could have been handled much better in the anime than it was. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments, and if you're enjoying my content, consider dropping me a donation on my Ko-fi, linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.